Hi guys, it's Angie. Welcome back to my Flosstube channel. It's been 2 weeks. It wasn't an intentional 2 weeks, but it's been 2 weeks, and you know, it is what it is. It's interesting because it's not like I have anywhere to go or anywhere to be, but sometimes just filming doesn't work. Last Monday we had the day off, so none of the kids had class, and we were trying to get things done as a family and around the house, and so the filming didn't happen. And then this Monday I had a sick child, and that didn't happen. So so I have an update for you now. And thankfully the last week, the week after my last video, I didn't get a whole lot of stitching done because I spent most of that week trying to kit up at Magic Study and the rest of World Traveler, and I hate messes and I hate disorganization. Now, I'm not saying I'm super organized, but when I know I have a system in place, I like that system to be very neat. And so as I'm sitting here kitting up World Traveler with all my CXC threads, I didn't want to just throw what was left over into a bag. I needed to organize it, and so I decided I was going to tie them up in a different way than my DMC threads so that I could hang them on the same hooks in my storage system, but know that if they're knotted like this, they're DMC, and if they're knotted like this, they're CXC, and that way I won't mix them up when I need to adjust or add more color to a pattern. And that took days. I was able to kit up Magic Study very, very easily. I had almost every single color I needed in my DMCs, which was fabulous. I only had to order, I think, 12 colors, which I did. I ordered 12 colors plus a few for some other projects. So now I have the whole thing kitted up. And then I finished working, getting World Traveler put together. And then I found out as I was putting the threads on my floss cards that I skipped a couple of the symbols, so that was annoying. And then I found out some of the colors that I'd put with the symbols were on the wrong one because it was kind of a mess, and I got it figured out, and it's all fixed and it's all kitted up now, and all my threads are put away where they're supposed to be. I definitely need another storage container for the threads though, because it's really bulky now, but that's entirely for another day to do. But that's what I spent most of that week doing, so I did very little stitching. And so when that Monday came around, I was thinking, what, I stitched on maybe one thing, plus, like I said, we were trying to get some stuff done. And then this last week, my son kept falling asleep in class, which of course, you know, he's sitting on the couch. Now that we have a couch, I moved the boys, because my boys were sitting at the kitchen counter and the kitchen table, and I was sitting on a hard chair monitoring to make sure they weren't getting off subject. That's not very comfortable. So we got the couch, and I'm like, I'm not sitting in the kitchen anymore. So I set up 2 desks in my living room, and I can sit on the couch where I'm nice and comfy while they're sitting there doing school, and I can do my stitching or whatever needs to be done. Well, my son sometimes sits on the couch to start the day, but he kept falling asleep. So I kept getting on his case, and I brought out a harder chair, and now he has to sit at the desk. And long story short, he just kept falling asleep at the table. And then he'd tell me, I don't feel very good, my throat is scratchy. But then he goes and he eats chicken nuggets and crackers. Like, okay, I'm sure you're fine. My head hurts, my body hurts, but then he runs outside and plays. Now this is my son. He's always been this way. Even as a really little kid, whenever he was really sick, you couldn't tell he was really sick because he just doesn't act sick. He just doesn't let it get him down, I guess. Or he has a very high tolerance. I don't know, one of the two. So anyway, the whole time he keeps saying he's not feeling good. My husband's like, he looks fine to me, and I'm thinking he looks fine too. And I ran to the grocery store with my daughter, and I come home and he's got 102-degree fever. And he is asleep on the couch and he's burning up. And so of course I'm putting him in a cool bath, giving him some medicine, thinking, okay, let's see what's going on. And the next morning he's not feverish, but he's had chills. He's woken up in the middle of the night shaking, and he's body aches and sore throat and headaches. And I'm thinking, oh man, okay, what did he get? It's definitely not a cold. He's not sniffly. He's not anything. And of course, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, is it COVID? Is it COVID? The kid hasn't left the house in a month, at least. It's me or my husband that does the shopping out in town. So we're the only ones that leave, and we're always masked up. Do I hand sanitize after I touch it? Anything? No. So, I mean, is it possible that I brought something home? It's always possible, but I'm still thinking it's not a very high chance. But it's in the back of your mind because, you know, this is the era of COVID. Then he breaks out in a rash, and it's on his feet. And then by the next morning, it's gone all the way up to his knees. It's on his hands, up to his elbows. And of course, then I'm thinking hand, foot, and mouth. Oh crap, he's got hand, foot, and mouth. How did he get hand, foot, and mouth? Except he has nothing on his face or in his mouth. Well, the rash just keeps getting redder and redder. No more fever. The fever's gone, but he's just not feeling very well. So finally, the rash just, his toes started to swell. And that's when I said, okay, COVID toe? How many of us have heard of COVID toe or rashes on kids who've gotten it? So of course now I'm scared. Okay, no, I'm not scared. Concerned. We'll say concerned. I wasn't super scared because he's acting fine and he's not having trouble breathing. But we canceled any of the plans. We were supposed to, my husband was supposed to go meet his boss at his office, and I was supposed to have my first outing to meet some people here, but we canceled it all as a just in case precaution. I take him to urgent care. The kid has scarlet fever, which just so you know, because it sounds scary when they said he's got scarlet fever. I'm thinking, okay, isn't that like what Beth died of in Little Women? That's scary. No, it's not. I don't know if that is. I don't remember the fever that she died from or that damaged her heart or whatever, but it's strep throat with a rash. So he had strep, hence the sore throat and the fever. And then a small percentage of people who get strep also get a rash, and then it becomes scarlet fever. So he has this heavy duty rash that it's still there. He's on medication. He's doing great. You would never know he was sick, except that he's got a rash and his joints ache a little bit. But I've never seen a rash with strep. I've had strep a gazillion times, never had a rash. Apparently my husband did as a kid, but it's usually, they said too, kids 5 to like 16 are the ones that are usually affected with a rash. So he's fine. He's happy as a clam. No COVID here. Probably a good thing though that none of us went to do any of our things, because at the time he wasn't being treated, which means we were all possibly carriers of strep throat. We don't want to spread that around either, especially in conjunction with anybody who might accidentally get COVID. Scary stuff. But that kind of took over my weekend. And today was the first day that he came downstairs. He's been in his room all weekend just trying to rest and recover, and today was the first day he came down for school, and he still fell asleep during class, so don't blame the kid. He, you know, but oh my goodness, it was crazy. I did get a lot of stitching done though, thanks to that. I don't know why. I mean, we just didn't do anything this weekend, so I sat and did a lot of stitching. I know I showed you, okay. Well, let's see. Well, first, I got some new grime guards. And I go through Silver Moon Sewing. Every time I go order a grime guard, I always like the fabrics that she has available. I had recently purchased and mix and matched a couple Q-snaps, so I have some 8.5 by 11 sized. Sammy J, I don't know if you watch her videos, but they're fun. They're always fun. She's got amazingly fun and diverse patterns. It's patterns I've never seen before. Some I have, some I haven't. She's fun to watch, but she is religiously using the 8.5 by 11, so I thought I'd try it out. And it's not bad. I enjoy them. She does her giant heids on that size too. I don't know how she does that. I have a hard enough time with just little bits of fabric. But you know what, to each their own. I like the 11 by 17 for my heids. But I ended up getting some more Q-snap or grime guards. So the first one I got from her, before I show you the pattern, I got this one. They're all on a project. So let's see. So this one is very creepy Halloween. and I love it. But Silver Moon Sewing is, I always like her. Here's another one. Spiders and bugs and butterflies, super, super cute. And they're reasonably priced as well. I need to go back and get some more because I have at least one more 11 by 17 that needs a cover. And then I got this one. And this one, she added a little bit of extra fabric because I told her that I was going to be using this for a Haid. And I asked her if she could add some extra fabric to hold all the extra stuff. Hold on. Sorry. So anyway, she was kind enough, and they came fairly quickly, and I've just been really happy. All of my grime guards that I have are from her. When I've looked them up on Etsy, I actually always end up at her page, regardless of, I just click on a fabric I like, and it usually always ends up with her. I'm always willing to try new people, but I've been really, really happy with the service that I get from there, and I will link it below. I think I've linked it in previous videos, but I will do it again for you. So, but since we're talking about those, I will go ahead and show you. I started Magic Study. I have not started World Traveler because it's very intimidating, but I did start Magic Study because one of my prompts was that I needed to stitch on something with a teacup, and in the pattern she has a teacup. But here is where I'm at. I've done just about 1,000 stitches on it, which is not too shabby. I have decided for this one that I am going to try stitching on diagonal. I am not parking, at least not yet, because I'm also trying to do cross country. I'm not doing extreme cross country where you stitch all of the one color in the entire pattern. What I'm doing is I'm selecting a certain diagonal to go to, and I'm going to do the cross country all in that particular diagonal. And then that way I can finish off a thread. And then if I happen to get to that point and still have, then I'll start parking after that. I do like parking with my larger things, although then the back looks messy. But with this one, my back is actually not too bad. I'll have to show you my back on Middle Earth. It's insane. But so this is all I've done on Magic Study, which, I mean, it's a lot considering I'm doing 1/1 on, I believe this is 28 count. This is, I've got a sticker right here, but it's, yeah, 28 count Easy Grid Lugana. That's what I'm stitching this on. So one more time. I'm trying to pose to get a better, my last video had a really funny, all three of the screenshots were funny. Okay, so I also started, this one is from Night Spirit Studios, and I'm sorry if I can't remember all of the designer names. I will have them listed, you'll have seen. But this is Night Spirit Studios. This one is Ornate Halloween Sampler. I got a decent start on this. And this one, I don't know if you can see the shimmers in it. So the skeleton and the pumpkins here, all of those are in a brown color. And then the outer edge is 720, I believe. 720 or 741 off the top of my head. It's one of the oranges. But then it's also the Light Effects Copper, DMC Light Effects Copper. And so you do one of each. And it adds just a fun sparkle. And, you know, every now and then the copper is annoying because Light Effects is kind of annoying, but not annoying enough that I won't finish the pattern. In fact, I've got like one little thing here, and then I'm already at the bottom. And then, so I mean, this is not a very big pattern, but I'm starting a lot of things, so a lot of Halloween things. So I'm not in a rush to finish these. I finished the ghost hunting one. I haven't fully finished it yet because, again, but I finished that one and I'm good with that, and now I'm just trying to stitch to have fun. So there was that one. I have been working a little bit on, not a whole lot. In fact, you may not see much of a difference at all of my Away We Ride. I don't remember where it was the last time I showed you, But today I filled in the rest of these windows, and I'm about to fill in that window and then start getting the rest of the windows. So that's where I'm at with Away We Ride, which I love this house. And every time I pull this out, it's so much fun to stitch on. I don't want to stop. Yeah. Okie dokie, where am I? Okay, that goes with that. Like I said, I'm not extremely, I kitted up my, if you remember, I picked up a bunch of patterns and I've got my ornaments. So I've kitted up these, I just haven't started them yet. That I'm probably gonna do sometime this week. But I did start Hello Halloween, which a Sue Hillis design, Hello Halloween. I did start that, and I've done just under 1,000 stitches in it, and this is a lot of fun. So, and I'm sorry, nothing is ironed. Is it ever ironed? Have I ever ironed anything for my videos? So, I mean, I don't know why I'm acting like that's a weird thing. So, you know what? The camera's far away. I don't know how much of this you're seeing very well. So here we go. That is where I'm at so far with my Hello Halloween. And I'm probably putting this away for just a little while I start and work on a bunch of other things. It looks great on this fabric though. I love this fabric choice. I'm very happy with it. And it stitches really nice, which is funny because it's a Weeks Dye Works. And if you'll recall, my ghost hunting was on a Weeks Dye Works 30 count, and I could not stand stitching on that. It was really, really awful. And this one is also a Weeks Dye Works. Is it, or is it Picture This Plus? See, now I can't remember. Nope, sorry, this one's Picture This Plus Prank. The other one in there is Weeks Dye Works, and I haven't started stitching on that one yet. So I'm unsure of how I feel about it. All right. I did stitch on a bunch of things, and I don't remember. Oh, I stitched on my husband's present. I will show you that again. Tim, look away. All right, so he's supposed to look away. I have kids that keep coming in. So now I added a bunch of people. There's more people here, and I mean there's a bit more down here. But over here, there's supposed to be, because it's a sampler, sorry, there's supposed to be the whole alphabet thing. I don't like the look of the alphabet thing, and so what I'm gonna do is in the font of the alphabet that's over here, I'm actually going to write the names of all the different races in the game, all of the main races that you run into. So, you know, human, Tellurian, Solarian, etc., etc., etc. So that's what I'm gonna do. I should have told my husband to close his ears. He's seen it. I know he's seen it. It's impossible not to see it as I'm stitching on it if he just happens to walk in. So he knows. But he doesn't know exactly what it looks like. I think he knows what it is. You can look now, Tim. So that's where I'm with that. I know there's something else down here that I'm not thinking of. I have not done, oh, this goes with that. Okay, that's why. I'm pretty sure I showed you that I finished all of the fish. The second part to this did come out. I have not started it. It's downloaded, it's ready to go. I really wanted to have it done by November, so this is gonna get worked on at least once this week and at least once next week and the following week. I'm trying to give one day to this each week because I do really want to keep up with this, because this is the kind of project where if you get behind, it's going to be really hard to catch up, and then you're going to it's gonna be, yeah, I don't want to play catch up if I don't have to. So but this one is the Autumn Lane Stitchery Dark Queen of the Seas. The second part is part of the belly and the hips of a mermaid, I believe, and I'm very excited to start stitching that. So that's where I am with that. You may have already seen that. All right, I pulled out Middle Earth. I don't even remember what it was that I needed to stitch on it for. I needed to stitch on my oldest whip, and this is actually my oldest whip. I started this in November of last year. I've gotten a page and a half done since November. I have not worked on this since I moved here, so it's been several months since I've even pulled this out. In fact, I don't think I've worked on this since, I want to say April, maybe even before that. So what I'm doing with this, I decided that I want to play the cross-country game similar to what I'm doing with Magic Study on a diagonal with this as well. So what I'm trying to do is create a diagonal into what I've already done. And the reason I want to do that is because I have heard tell that if you stitch on a diagonal and then you put it away and then you bring it out again, you're less likely to see the lines that you get if you stitch page break by page break. Sometimes there are lines between what you previously stitched and what you're about to start. I've heard tell that if you stitch full crosses on each stitch, you're not going to get the lines the same way you would if you say do, you know, half, 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 and then finish, back first. I don't know. I haven't noticed lines in this pattern, but I decided I like the idea of trying to do some cross country on this. I was going to show you my back because parking and cross country make a mess of your back. So FYI, if you don't like a messy back, it's probably not a good idea to do it like this. I don't care. This is a 22 count and I am stitching 2 threads. So this is really, really tight and really thick. I don't mind it. I'm not doing that with Magic Study. I'm stitching 1 thread with Magic Study, and when I start World Traveler, I'm just gonna do 1 thread. But with this one, I'm just gonna continue doing full cross 2 threads. What I did is, you'll see, I'm coming up here, I have it gridded, and then I drew my diagonal that I'm going to, and I'm bringing all of my stitches up to the diagonal, and then I'm parking beyond there. And I'm hoping that that will kind of contain, because I mean, I've got all of these gross threads just hanging out. I've got all of these, and I'm hoping that that will make it so that I have less threads, because then I can start at the top and come all the way down, and I will have less of the same color, because I mean, I have, you know, the same color thread up here, and here, and here, and here, and here, all parked because of the way I was doing it before. But now, hopefully that will change a little bit. So here's where I'm at. And I'm really excited. I love this. I love this. And it makes me sad that I haven't stitched on it for so long, because I mean, this is close to 1,000 stitches in just 2 days of sitting on the couch. It was fun. Love it. Middle Earth. Love my Middle Earth. And then the last thing I started, I got my things for the Halloween mandala, and I started it. And this is for my extra credit stitching. I need to stitch the Odd Sisters, the words. And so this is where I'm at, and it's, let me try to get some stuff out of the way. And I'm almost done with this amount. So this is where we started. This is the middle, and then it goes up and out and out and out and out. And so I'm trying to do this right here. So we have the skulls and the eyeballs and the cats and the witch. Now this ghost is supposed to be glow in the dark. It is supposed to be done with glow in the dark, the DMC light effects. I think it's E940 or something like that. Unfortunately, everywhere is sold out of that. You can't get it anywhere. I have looked. Unless you want to pay like $10 a skein on eBay or something. No. So I ordered some Krennic grapefruit. It was so thick, I couldn't get it through it was awful. It was supposed to be glow in the dark and it was gonna be awesome. No, no. So I am stitching it with 5200. My husband's been standing outside the door for like 3 minutes, hoping I'd take a breath so he could come in and get his shoes so he could go running. Oh, anyway, so here's a Halloween mandala so far. It doesn't look like a whole lot, and I haven't used any of the other specialty threads yet because I haven't gotten to that point where I'm gonna see the glow in the dark stuff. But anyway, for the ghosty, instead of glow in the dark, I'm just doing B5200, and I may skip the ghosts and see. I have to go to Joann's and find fabric for the Christmas presents, and so I may, when I go out there, it's right next to Hobby Lobby, so I may check both of those places to see if they have the specialty thread. I doubt that they do. And then I may check the Little Needle Workshop since it's close by and see if they have it. If not, then they'll all just be the bright white. I don't need a glow in the dark ghost on this. It's not that important to me. But Halloween mandala, super. This one's a really fun stitch. I like the colors a lot. In fact, when you pull out, I mean, those are just some fun Halloween-y colors. And then one of them has the gold Kreinik in it. That's the little bejeweled thing here. It's all shiny in there. I really like that. I think that's a fun effect. I think that's the only place on the pattern that has that. But then I have all of those other ones that are supposed to glow in the dark. I just haven't gotten to those parts on the pattern yet. But I'll get there. I don't know. I'll work on this again some more this week, but that's a lot of new starts. I'm hoping that I can start. Tonight I'm working on Away We Ride. And then I think tomorrow I'm either going to start I don't know where I've put everything, you guys. It's a mess. It's a mess. I'm either going to start the ornaments or I'm going to start the witching hour. I'm going to start one of those tomorrow. Ornaments or witching hour. I've got everything I need for both. So, except I don't actually have fabric for this. I mean, I do. I have fabric that will work for this. I just haven't pulled it out. So I guess that is my decision, right? I'll just start the witching hour, or I mean the ornaments tomorrow. I think that's it. I think this video has gone on long enough. I will insert a little bit of my Halloween decorating, and yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna go. I'm really tired today. I don't know if you can tell. I'm really tired. Didn't sleep well. Between a sun sickness and just, yeah. So I'm gonna go get some rest, get ready to watch some Men in Black, do a little bit more stitching, and I should have a bunch to show you next week. And yeah, so happy stitching, everybody. I hope you have a great week. Bye. So here's some more of my Halloween decor. This is my one of two shelves. So these are just the things that I've collected over the years. I print pictures and put them in frames because I'm cheap. I usually go to Target the day after Halloween and buy all the stuff that's left over at a discount because I'm frugal. These are my spooky letters. I actually did make these. I designed the letters, cut them out, sanded, painted them, back when block letters were a big popular thing. So those are my creation. Fun. So there's that one. This is my floor stand my husband got me. I haven't had much of a chance to use it, but now that I have a couch, yay, a couch. I will hopefully get to use it. Window to the backyard with no curtains or blinds. Working on that. This is the other set of shelves. Again, just things that I've collected over the years. Eventually some of these frames will stay the same, but eventually as I finish cross-stitching projects, they'll go into them. My kids, many, many years ago when they were all excited for Halloween. This is probably my favorite part of my decor inside. I have never had a fireplace or a mantle before, so this was especially fun to decorate. These are, again, just things I've collected over the years. The ghosties here, these are probably my most favorite things in the world. These I made with my mom when I was a kid. We had a ceramics shop in our town, and you would go in and you'd pick out the greenware so it was all still soft, and you'd take it home and you'd take the seams off with special tools and smooth it all out, and then you'd take it back and they'd fire it, and then you'd pick them up, paint them, and then put a glaze on, and you'd take them back and they'd fire it again, and they would come out looking like this. And they are so cute. And so my mom asked me recently to start going through her house and picking things that I want when she dies, because morbid. And I told her that, you know, that's not a big deal, but one thing that I did want is the ceramics that we used to paint together, and we have some for Christmas and everything too. And so instead of waiting, she mailed them to me. So now I have them on display. These adorable skulls, you'll see they say Sam's. We had a restaurant when we lived in Okinawa called Sam's by the Sea, and it was a really yummy restaurant, and I would get my drinks served in those. So we got 2 of them, and they are now part of my decor, and I put a flameless candle in them, and then their eyes light up. And then we have the skulls here, and then this is my Halloween tree, which is not much to look at right now because I haven't fully figured out. That is a temporary topper. I want to get something different. I just don't know what yet. Right now these are just a few items of decoration that I didn't have a place for, so I put them on the tree. Obviously when I get my ornaments stitched, they'll go on the tree. I'm trying to decide if I want it to be a spooky Halloween tree or a cutesy one. Again, I haven't decided. I have a Nightmare Before Christmas tree. It's white, it looks exactly like this, but then it is nothing but nightmare. And while I could put all that stuff on this tree, I don't want to, because I want to make sure that I have my special nightmare tree at Christmas and then a different Halloween tree for Halloween. So this is my living room decor for Halloween, and I love it. These are the Nightmare pumpkins that my daughter and I painted last year. They're just foam pumpkins we bought from Target or somewhere and painted them Nightmare Before Christmas. Up here, let me open it. This is the snake wreath I made. I've got a child making a face. I made this, gosh, 7 or 8 years ago. The snakes fell off the grapevine wreath, even with E600. And then this guy lights up. It's motion censored. I don't have it on right now, but he makes a lot of noise. He scares my dog. But anyway, that is my front entrance.